guys.
Hi everybody.
Happy weekend.
Happy whatever day
It's
it is.
a Wednesday for us. Hump day.
Midweek. And the weather's kind of giving midweek as well. It's kind of doing nothing right now.
Didn't yesterday feel like a Monday? Did it to you? Probably didn't to you, did you? Does it? Because you don't work Mondays.
It just felt like a work day
it
to me.
felt so much like a Monday. Everyone in the office was like, oh, yuck.
Every day at work for me feels the same, except for a Saturday. That is the only day that feels any different because there's a shift in like who's actually working.
Yeah.
Other than that, every day is the same. And sometimes when I work Sundays, because no one's there as well. But yeah, I am Eliz.
I'm Lilyemma.
Welcome back to Blonde Vibrations.
This is Champagne Whispers, episode 24.
I'm in my blue. If you're watching, I'm in my blue top that accidentally dyed. Oh my god! I didn't realise this is a really suitable top. Read it.
Hey! Oh my god!
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, the top says, "I'm not shy. I just don't like you," and that's really fitting for the topic. Oh my god,
That's so creepy.
That got me so like giddy for no reason. That's like we manifested it, but I swear to God I put this on before.
I knew you were wearing it, but like I didn't read it when I chose the subject.
I wonder if it was subliminal messaging because you saw shy in huge letters and then picked it.
How do you know?
Interesting. Do we have anything else we need to get out of the way before we get right into it? My voice is really low. It's sitting lower than normal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot lower and it kind of is crackling. That's why when we were with Manny, my voice kept breaking.
I didn't know it was sitting lower.
I'm losing it. That's why, because we went to Big Weekend at the weekend. So that's why I sound like Jojo Siwa.
Being guest on my podcast.
Being guest on my podcast.
Oh my god!
It's good because I could get there. I never used to be able to get there. Now I can.
What if your voice just stays that deep forever?
I think it's quite sexy. If it didn't have the crack in it, like if it just sat like a...
It's raspy.
If I was just like, yeah... We're not into the vocal fry region, but just like a, yeah... I don't know, a sentence I would normally say. Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, welcome to Blonde Vibrations.
Yeah, welcome to Blonde Vibrations. Oh, hey, I'm Eliz.
Oh, it sounds so like carefree.
Yeah.
Like that's something that my voice does not give. Like, you know, like just like, yeah, whatever. Like no.
Yeah, but is it because you're a big talker? And again, this is probably going back to what we're about to get into. You're very confident, so you wouldn't sound carefree in that sense because you're so bubbly. I don't know how much bubbly and then like...
But how much does bubbly affect your like tone?
I don't know. I feel like it does because you sound bubbly. You don't sound like, I don't care what I'm saying. Like that's like if I was like,
welcome
hey,
to Blonde Vibrations.
Hey, yes, I'm just gonna go shopping today. That's so like I don't care. Carefree in that aspect. But if you're like, I'm going shopping today and then I'm going to go to here and then I'm going to go to Lush to get a bath bomb and I'm going to go to Black Street. Like that's how you would sound.
Yeah.
Positive. This is not like derogatory. That it's bubbly because you're like, what's it?
Excitable.
Happy-go-lucky. That's cute. I like that.
Well, that was a bit of a tangent.
There is always one. I never know what it's going to be. Because I was actually going to say it's less than a month till Taylor Swift. That was going to be my tangent, but now we've already had one, so I feel like we can't have two tangents in a row.
Just leave it in the ether.
Yeah. And we can talk about... Because we could probably even do, like, a get ready with us.
Yeah.
Wow. We say that. If you guys know the, like... And Caitlin, if you're watching this, you'll hate to know the step-by-step, hour-by-hour. I think I'm going to have to timetable it for us to be getting ready for that day.
Especially if it's me, you and Caitlin, like... We're going to have to timetable it because we all take it in turns for various things.
And we're all going to want to shower probably, I imagine.
Wash our hair.
Not that I know what you're doing with your hair,
I don't know what I'm doing with my hair.
We're all going to shower. We all need to get ready. Luckily, here we have 2 rooms and we all... This is such a weird... Does everyone else have this in their group of friends? Everyone has different ways they would like to set up their makeup. You're a desk girl. God. I'm a floor girl, and Caitlin, as long as she has a mirror, she's happy girl.
Yeah, except when we were getting ready for Olivia Rodrigo and Caitlin took my desk space and then didn't even use the mirror on the desk.
No, literally, I said that, and she backtracked with this after, but I remember the wording. You can't catch me out when it comes to wording. It was, well, I can't remember it word for word now, but I said something like, well, you're not going to need that, are you? And she went, I'm not using it yet.
Yeah.
The word was yet. And then
Just don't use it once.
afterwards she was like, I never said I was going to use it. And you went, and I went, no, you said yes. We were all, I wasn't even involved in this. And I was like, mind you, I was cowed up with a jewellery box mirror. Like, please.
We all, I feel like me, you and Caitlin are such like sister vibes. Like we're so quick to like come to each other's throats. Like there's no like, oh girly. Like maybe like a handful of times where like, oh yeah, like special occasions. But for the most part, it's like, Caitlin, why are you doing that?
Mind you, we're going on holiday together for 10 days. I think I'm going to end up walking off at some point and go be with myself by the pool or something. Yeah, but I genuinely think I'm going to have to like draw my bedroom to scale and then draw us as well and start like I
can just do my makeup in my room.
But even like pictures and stuff, at 1100 hours you will walk into my room. Yeah, it basically is. The span of day of what it is gives the amount of time for a wedding.
Yeah.
And would you look at that? The Taylor Swift tangent.
It happened anyway.
Can't stop us.
We even got a Caitlin tangent in there.
And she always gets confused when we mention her. Okay, here is the scenario for the week. I'm naturally so shy and timid.
People who aren't watching will be like, why did you say it like that?
I'm showing you the shy on my my t-shirt. Let me just start that again. I'm naturally so shy and timid. Life just passes me by. I see other people living their life to the fullest. How can I become a social butterfly just like them? Where would you like to start with her?
I feel like we need to like preface it by saying we're not saying that shyness is a bad trait. I feel like this is a nice place to start. Is that because I'm also aware that like if you're watching, you're probably thinking like, oh my god, like they're so like social butterflies.
I'm a shy person.
She's a shy person, but I feel like we need to like firstly say like it's okay to be shy, and if you're comfortable in being shy and it doesn't affect your life, then like you can do that as long as you're like content and you have like you still like, feel like you can be yourself, whether that's all the time or around specific people. Yeah, I feel like that's important to say, because otherwise we're going to sit here and be like, if you're a shy person, you need to work on yourself and change that. You don't. But if you feel like you're missing out on life because of it.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, it's okay to be naturally shy. I am. And also, you can go through different phases of your life. I haven't put this in the notes, but I was just thinking about it. You go through different phases of your life where you can be more shy than, or like less outgoing, less social than other times, because I was a shy kid, and then like my late teens I really like became confident, whatever. I just don't want to keep saying the word shy. Confident, outgoing, less timid, whatever. And now I'm more so how I used to be. So it's very much in like waves.
Fluctuates.
Like you could actually not have to work on anything. In like a year's time you could look back and be like, why did I never speak? Because now I just can't stop speaking. Like, I'm such a yapper. But it's okay, and you don't have to always be like the loudest one in the room. It doesn't mean you're not like living a fulfilled life.
Oh, I hate the idea that you have to be the loudest in the room. Like, I'm a chatty person, I don't want to be the loudest in the room.
No, I wouldn't be, unless if it's me, once again, if it's me, you and Caitlin in a room, we are all fighting to be the loudest in the room, because it's a close-knit friendship group. But in terms of like outwardly social situations, work and things like that, I can't be the loudest in the room. But it's okay, because it doesn't mean that you're not like doing your own thing and just like getting on with things. I also said that if you're saying like, how can I be a social butterfly like other people, like how are you seeing this? Are you seeing it online? Because that's so different to like what you're seeing in person. Some people, and I don't want to speak on behalf of every loud person ever, but you might just be seeing what they want you to see. It's a highlight reel at the end of the day. They could be, you know, overcompensating for something. They could be unhappy. They might not even want to go out and have all of this huge group that they have and the lifestyle. And they might even be on the side of, you know, we answered a question a couple of months ago and I was like, how can I be more like independent and like be on my own a bit more? Someone might be asking that.
Yeah, and I think also like it all depends what part of someone's life you see. This is what I feel like this is what you're trying to say, like you could see them go out every night, but then during the day they could work from home and they don't see anyone, so then their only social interaction is going out and partying, whereas you're in a customer service job Monday to Friday, so you're constantly socialising. You work in an office, you spend your lunch with people. It's both social, just in different ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like unless it's like you're out with people and they're more like, I feel like that's the only time you can tell, is that if you're out with someone and they're the one going around the whole room and being like outgoing, and they're the ones meeting people,
and you're just kind of like going away into like the corner of the room, like, am I
yeah, like I think, well, like, that's the only time you can like safely be like,
yeah,
that's a more social person than me.
Yeah, but if it's just like seeing things online, because it also could be a thing of like with this person that's going out all the time, not even like they work from home, they don't see anyone, they might just not want to go out, but because that is the only social interaction they've been offered, it's the thing they've been invited to, that might not be what they want to do, but that's what they've been offered. In a sense of, you might be asked to go for a coffee once a week and you're like, all I want to do is just be out every night with like all these bunches of people, like everyone's on their own like journey of that, if that makes any sense. Yeah, my final point on that bit is, and you know I had to bring like a phrase into it somewhere, is comparison is the thief of joy. Is that even the phrase? Something's the thief of joy, I'm just not sure what it is. So it's comparison now.
Comparison's a thief of joy.
Who's the thief of joy?
I don't know.
Who stole joy? Well, in this scenario, comparison's the thief of joy. You know, other people might just be really good at making things look really social as well. You know, we've probably done it. You have one set of pictures from somewhere, and because it's in different lighting or a different background, you could make that look as if you've been out 5 times. When really it's just the one, you know, when you
go to loads of social events and we don't speak to anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
just because you're somewhere.
You think, then you see someone at an event and you're like, oh my god, they're at this really cool event. That doesn't mean they're socialising, like, just because they're at a social event. Like, we've gone to like entire like big events that are like 2 parts, and we'll just speak to ourselves and that's it.
Yeah.
We'll have a business meeting in the middle of it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could be not flaunting anything and actually being more social than you think you are. You could be going to so many things, and that doesn't mean you're being a social butterfly. Like, you're through the doors, but you're not like making any connections in there. So that is a good thing to know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that comforts you in the moment, but like, it is good to know that like not everything is what it seems.
Yeah, if you were sat there being like, I'm so shy and everyone's living more life because they're not as shy, that's your comfort.
Yeah.
However, I do feel like sometimes if you're feeling like that, I do think shyness can cut you off from life experiences and kind of trying new things. And it's something that I found when I was a shy person, was that I got so comfortable in like my own life, and I wouldn't try anything new and I wouldn't meet anyone new, and I was just like content, which is fine. But then you can look back and be like, oh, for all those years I just didn't do anything new. And I think to a certain extent there's a certain level of like being shy that does kind of cut you off.
Yeah,
if you let it, like, if you drown in it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're just like, I'm a shy person, but once I get to know you I'm not, that's fine. But if you find that like, I'm a shy person, so I don't do anything new and I don't speak to anyone new in my classes, I just like sit and I go home and I see Eliz, and that's just my life. Like, I don't need to meet anyone new, I don't need to do anything new. Do you know what I mean? That's when it's a problem, because then you're like living in this shyness.
Yeah, because you could kind of presume that you're not being invited to anything, but if the actual fact is you're actually being invited to all of these things, but you're letting life pass you by. In your own words, life's passing you by because these things are holding you back, and that's why you want to make these changes. Then I would presume that it's not a fulfilled life for you. Yeah. Because it could be.
Some people live really happy lives being shy.
Like, this is why it's not a bad thing, because like, shy doesn't mean lonely, and timid doesn't mean
unfriendly.
No friends. Yeah. Like, you could have a really small, well, like if you and Caitlin and a few other dotted people. That's my like social self, and I don't go out and I don't like network beyond my means. But I'm like, if I was about to go through something really bad, those people are going to be there for me. I don't need 100. This depends, but I don't need 100 fake friends who aren't going to really be there for me. They'll post on like a story for my birthday and stuff, but like you're not actually going to be there for me. You don't know what's going on.
It's quality over quantity with friends.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes the social butterfly puts themselves at risk of being quantity over quality. I think, I don't know, I feel like it's just another case of FOMO, isn't it? Like,
because you assume that having all of these people around you is going to make your life flourish. The fact that you don't have that and you haven't experienced it to know what the grass is greener situation is like. Also, the social butterfly person might be really happy. Like, let's not just say they're so sad, but like, it's not all that it seems. But if you have your consistent group and you're happy with that, you don't have to branch out.
Yeah.
But you want to. So if you want to for you, then we can help you a bit.
Yeah, I feel like with like a lot of things that we say on the show, you kind of need to decide why you're being shy. Do you, like, are you being shy because you've not met a lot of new people, like you've come from a small town and you've moved to a city and you're not used to kind of doing the whole like, oh hi, I'm Lilyemma, do you know what I mean? Or are you shy because you don't feel like confident or very like strong within yourself that you can hold a conversation or you can introduce yourself to like an exciting amount? Or is it that you feel like anxious in new scenarios? I think you need to like, that there's shy and then there's like subcategories of shy that I feel like you need to like
if it genuinely
figure out where you are.
If it's just a lack of experience, that probably is going to be an easier thing that you know in yourself, and we could just tell you like, sign up for a class then. Do those things that if you've come from the tiniest little village in Leicestershire, you don't get to see anyone ever because your next door neighbour's a cow and your best friend's a sheep, like that sort of thing. Like, and all you need is like,
no one in Leicestershire lives that life.
I think they do.
Really?
Yeah, there's some absolute
you
like.
guys are so close to a town.
Yeah, but that's because I live close to a town. So you've seen close to a town.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if all you actually need is just some human interaction around, you're like, I'm shy because I just don't know what to do. But I know I can grasp it. You know, I watch the shows. I watch Gilmore Girls. Rory was quiet and then she wasn't because she went to uni. I just need to go to
Life
uni.
Yeah.
Then like that's different. But if you're like, I don't know if I'm like worthy of having these friends. I've been alone for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then it's going to be like almost doing the groundwork of working on knowing yourself, becoming confident completely inside, and then hopefully that will start like seeping out into the outside. Because I even said like, even if it's as simple as like, I'm gonna start like dressing, and it's bringing back all the things we spoke about in other episodes, like dressing in the way that I feel confident, working on knowing I'm a good person. I've picked up these hobbies because we've spoken before about like, what if you have no hobbies? But now I picked up these things and I can talk about them, and I actually want to maybe go join a class or something about it. You're going to be way more confident going into it if you like yourself, which sounds really harsh, but it is true.
And I think it's a case of like finding your social situations that you want to exist in. You know, if you don't like loud music and crowds, did I say live or loud? Loud. And like you're not going to want to go into a club.
You shouldn't be at the club.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can want to be social, but figure out what kind of social you want, because that if that's not you, why would you want to work on yourself to get to the point where you can go to a club, and B, why would you want to go to a club? Whereas like for you, your social interaction could be like joining like a book club or like trying a new like social pottery studio. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a case of figuring out what your actual goal is that you want to be confident enough to go to meet new people and to be social.
Yeah, because also it's like, if your main goal is to become a social butterfly kind of entails making friends. If you want to go to the club because you're kind of like, I don't know what else to do, I'll just go there. you're going to make friends. Yeah, probably. Maybe. It is a good place to meet people. But you're making friends with people that go to the club. And if that's where you've met them, that's where they'll want to continue going, probably.
Yeah.
And then you'll reach this, crossroads of, okay, I have these friends. I don't see them in the day, though, but every Friday and Saturday I know where they're going, or they're going to this rave and they've invited me. That's great. But I don't want to go. So then you have to question, well, I have these friends, but it's not I don't want to do those activities. So how compatible are we?
Yeah.
Maybe, I had my other friends that, we were quite, just secluded. Is that the word? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we were enjoying what we were doing. You'll end up, kind of regretting it, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a problem here with the term social butterfly. I think that's what it is that, social butterfly, you kind of think they're doing everything all the time, but they're not. They're doing specific things. And so you can't achieve... I feel like we're, going in circles, but I feel like you can't achieve being a social butterfly because, what is that?
There's no, it's like the enigma of, at what point do you think you've crossed that? It's not like a degree where you just get awarded it one time.
Yeah.
And you are now a social butterfly, because everyone has limits of what that may mean. I look at you as a social butterfly, but you could look at,
Yeah.
Olivia Neal as a social butterfly. I don't know.
I wouldn't even call myself a social butterfly because I don't... There are aspects where I don't socialise and that I need to socialise. I never socialise with anyone from my course. It's so bad. And I've said this to Liz and I've said it to my supervisor. I never do any social events without. But it's because I do so much at work and I do so much socialising for the podcast.
You recreationally socialise so much.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do more because you are a social butterfly.
Yeah.
In your personal life.
And you can't just be it, everywhere. That isn't a... I don't know, a good way to live. You physically can't be a social butterfly in every aspect of your life. The same way that, other people have work and they have gym and they have, I don't know, a club that they go to. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got multiple things going for them. No one truly is wholeheartedly in one space. Because if you're wholeheartedly in one space, you'll find something else. Do you know what I mean? So you can't be an equal level of social butterfly across all of those platforms.
There's also, everyone has their limits of how much socialising they can actually take. I might look at you and think you're a social butterfly, and I suppose as a social caterpillar, maybe.
A social caterpillar. I love that.
I don't necessarily think I have the
social battery
and mental capacity for as much socializing as you do. That doesn't mean you're a worse person, but it doesn't make you a better person.
No.
And it doesn't mean that you might think it, but I wouldn't look at you and think you're necessarily living a better fulfilled life because you have more friends and talk more to people and stuff, etc. Yeah, being the social butterfly that you are, just because you're out flying about, if I'm on ground, if I don't have the energy to have the wings to fly, that's not my fault and it's not your fault. Do you know what I mean? This is quite a good, I'm really onto something here and I'm being laughed at. This is really crazy. Maybe I'll never speak again.
It's
then.
just such
How
an
about
extended
that?
metaphor. It's so funny.
But it works so well.
No, it does. It's just really
if you're not ready for the wings, you can't fly. But you can crawl at your own pace. And when you're ready to get in the cocoon, you will. Transitional periods. You might have some wings. And you might fly higher than the person next to you ever could. You never know. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds like a 5 seconds of summer song.
If you don't swim, you'll drown.
Yeah, if you can't...
If you can't fly, just crawl. Your cocoon, honey. But all that is to say...
Gosh.
My first step of all of this was actually you can push the boundaries of your comfort zone without jumping, leaping, diving.
Yeah.
You can only do so much at a time.
I love a push rather than a jump. I think there's time and there's places in which you need to take a leap. But I think for the most part... Did you just leave?
I did.
For the most part, you just need to finish. Feels like a fire exits here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like that sometimes you can jump, sometimes you can leap if you feel like you can. But I think for the most part, and the more sustainable way to grow as a person and to try new things is just to like do like little baby steps and just like push forward. So I'm not saying that you need to go from if you want to be a more social person, I'm not saying you need to go to Freshers Week and go out every week, every night. Do you know what I mean? No one's telling you to go out 7 days a week. But maybe like try asking your friends to go for a coffee.
You could go to the mixer at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you can be in bed by 9 if you want.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do like small things that are still out of your comfort zone, but not so much so that it's going to wipe you out for a week.
I'll give you a real life example. Is the sort of jobs that I want require socialising. They require networking, and it's what your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
So I went to a networking event for it. Me as a person, I can't expect myself. This would be the ultimate jump, is to walk into that room, find every single person, shake their hand and be like, I'm Eliz, remember that name. But I went in and
do you want to connect on LinkedIn?
Yeah, but I spoke to a couple of nice people and a really important person. And that was like, for me, that was such a push. That was really good and I'm glad I did it. But it wasn't, you know, I wasn't moving mountains to do it.
Yeah.
I ordered some Moving Mountains burgers from Tesco.
Yeah, they didn't come. And neither did the fake chicken.
I know the fake chicken didn't, but me saying Moving Mountains just my... Damn, you guys. Damn. Another thing I was going to say is that if you're not quite sure about, you know, the kinds of things, the kind of realms that you want to... You know how you were saying, like, the book club, the pottery, like... You don't quite know what realm you want to really socialise in. You're not found your feet hobby-wise. Yeah, you're not quite flying, but you want to be in the cocoon. Is don't sign up for, you know, 10 kung fu classes.
Yeah.
Why don't you go to a couple of tasters for things? Or, like, our housemate went to a book club, but you can dip in and out of it. You don't have to go every week.
Yeah, you've not signed your life away to this book club.
It's not like compulsory modules somewhere. Because you could go to something, you might absolutely fumble it, and you can walk away, and you did something.
Yeah.
You know that, oh, for God's sake, I have to be there, like, this time next week.
Yeah, and then you start dreading it, and then you're undoing any progress you've made before you've made it, because then every time you've got a social event, you're thinking, like, oh, God, I'm really dreading it, whereas before you were just a bit nervous.
Yeah, or, like, I went to this thing, and I thought everyone was going to be a beginner like me, and now they're not, and now I can't talk to them about anything, because, you know... I thought we were just reading the one book, but they've actually read the sequel, and I'm so confused, and I don't want to talk to anyone anymore. But, like, you know, if you're just dipping in and out of something, that's great. If you do say something that's cringe, that's fine. You might never have to see them again.
I always say cringe things.
I brought up Jack Harlow to someone, and it ended the conversation, genuinely. No, I'm sorry, but we were talking about music. And then I went, oh, well, I listened to X, Y, Z, and then Jack Harlow, which doesn't really fit, but I do like his music. Silence. But I'll never see the person again, so you can't, like, dwell on it too much, because in that moment I felt very butterfly. Like, that was the wings, and they clipped them, and that's fine.
Oh, you're in a book now. Yeah, I think another way that you can kind of trick yourself into being a social butterfly is to just fake it. I think that's how I became a sociable person, was that when I moved to London, I was like, I guess this is kind of like the perks of being like an 18-year-old, I think, is that I moved to London and I was like, I'm going to be an outgoing person now. I'm going to be cool and I'm going to have loads of friends and no one can tell me I'm not, because no one knows me. It's
kind of manifesting.
Yeah.
You manifested having a social life.
Yeah, so I moved to London and my first couple months I was a social butterfly and that was that. And then I fell out with everyone and then I had no friends. But even so, I did the progress where, like, there we go, like, I'm not shy anymore.
And if you look at your whole first year, you were social at the beginning. We had lockdown, to be fair. And you were social the rest of your time at uni. very quite social, actually, introducing new people in, side characters, plots that went on for a little bit and then left. Like, it's I guess that also is kind of something. It's like, not everyone that comes in your, like, realm of trying to be social will stay. Yeah, of course you want consistent people, but, you know, we always talk about the gym friend. They might leave the gym. That doesn't mean that you failed at being social because you couldn't keep up with this person.
Yeah.
Other people's lives, you might just be the parallel lines that you're meant to be together for a bit.
Yeah.
Which I think is, like, another comfort to know. The lighting just got really nice on us right now. I also said that in terms of, like, you know, if you're striking up conversation with someone and you're at this mixer or something, not everyone is going to be, like, so seasoned professional that you think you're a caterpillar in a room of butterflies. Like, you all might...
I can't believe this metaphor's still going.
I love it. It's working so well. Kill the caterpillar if you want. You can kill it. Tell me now.
Why do I want to kill the caterpillar?
I was watching Hissy Fit's live today, and they do these, like, mystery bundles live on air. They pull them out the bag and they say, and you're allowed to swap the item out twice, and then it goes live and you buy it on the site, and they're like, is it Hissy Fit or a Hissy Flop? That's what they say. So caterpillar, Hissy Fit or Flop?
Hissy Fit. Like, nice. It's cute. I just can't believe it's still going.
But okay, so yeah, my original point is they also might be the caterpillar. They might be so nervous as well. This might be the first mixer they've ever gone to as well, or social event, or, you know, dance class or something. And you thinking, God, this is going to be crazy. I'm walking up to someone for the first time saying, hey. They're thinking, someone's walking over to me. And they're about to talk to me. Yeah. What the hell? And then you guys are Spider-Man me. Yeah. And it might work out for the best. When I walked over to someone at that networking event, I went, are you on your own? And she went, yeah. And I went, okay, I'm on my own as well. And I need to sit with someone. So can I sit with you? That's how it started. That it wasn't a... oh, hey, nice to meet you. Like, I'm Eliz. Like, isn't this crazy how we're all here? Like, you don't have to go over acting like you're...
Music.
Yeah, you don't have to act like you're more than you are. You can still be shy in these social situations. Or not necessarily shy. You can still be introverted and quiet. Yeah. You don't have to go from shy to loud. You don't have to become an extrovert. You just become more well-adversed in the situations you put yourself in.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it was, like, it's always been someone else's first time. So you could be going to your first networking event and thinking, oh my God, I'm so out of my depth, I don't know what I'm doing. But either it's their first time, or either they went for the first time and they probably remember it. Like, I remember, it's very topical, I remember our first festival as press, and we were like, oh my God, like, we're so out of place and we don't know anyone. And now we know people and we can chat to people. And
and it's not we go into a room and know every single person.
No.
So we're not, you know, it's not the heights, but we have enough that we're like, God, we're comfortable here now.
Yeah, and we used to, like, go to like press offices and just be like, hey, like, can we just get our passes, please? And then we'd just go, and then we'd just never speak to anyone. Yeah, whereas now I feel like we can.
It's like repetition, doing things over and over again. And one of my other points was, and it's the same for dating, because we've spoken about this in terms of, like, Hinge dates and stuff, is like, you can't just do something once and then put it off like 7 months, because you'll lose the flow of it. As much as you can, you need to keep trying to, like, put more in, because then it gets more natural. You'll want to do it more. You'll have more success rates. You might have unsuccess rates as well, but they can average out into something that you're happy continuing with.
The unsuccessful cases will make the successful ones easier, because once you go through those, that's the worst case scenario. It can't majorly get worse.
And, like, what are the worst case scenarios?
You go up to someone and you're like, hi, like, I'm new here, or I'm Eliz, and they're going to be like, ew.
Yeah. And
ugly. And then that's that.
And you never have to see them again.
And then you introduce yourself to someone else, and if they're just like, hi, like, sorry, I'm a bit busy, you're like, well, at least they didn't call me ugly. Yeah. And then you introduce yourself to someone else, and they're like, oh my God, hi, like, it's my first time too.
Like, it sounds so, like... oh yeah, obviously everyone knows that, but it is, like, good to say out loud that just genuinely the more things you do, it's just going to be easier, it's going to be better, and you have more, like, things to compare, bounce off. Even it becomes anecdotes at times. If then you meet someone really cool and you've gone to this book club 3 times with them and they ask you to get a coffee, you could be like, one time I walked up to someone and they actually just like pushed me and walked away and called me ugly, then that's funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be like, that's so funny because now look at me now. I
love laughing about unfortunate things. Like, that's how you get through it. It's
I
just
feel
being
like,
what the heck.
I feel my whole life is like laughing at the misfortune almost.
This is the thing. When I went into work yesterday and I told someone some like semi good news, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Wow!" Like, you guys have been hearing so many like failures. Like, I didn't know that it was so like, when you tell someone something, they're like, "Finally," and you're like, I didn't realize that like my failure stories were so like topical that like everyone's invested in them. But it gives you things to talk about.
Yeah. If I got down about not getting a Hinge date, but I don't. Do you know what I mean? Everyone be laughing at that with me.
Everyone laughs with you.
At some point, I'll stop laughing.
People that don't even know Eliz laugh with her now. Like, I have my friend from work be like, "Has Eliz got a Hinge date yet?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "How?" And I'm like, "You guys don't even know each other like that."
Everyone know their limits. When I stop laughing, you'll all know about it. But right now, like, it gets you through things.
Yeah.
So that's all you can really ask of things. And then at the end of it, you could do all of this and you might just be like, I think I like this little life. I'm not sure why I branched out.
I liked being a caterpillar.
Yeah. Life was good. It wasn't, I was protecting my peace. Now there's more people, there's more drama. There's more people I have to, like, actually, put more energy in.
Yeah.
When I enjoyed the energy going directly into myself and the 3 people I like.
We kind of have this, is that like 2 years ago, we did so much. We were like away most weekends. We were in different places all the time. And I look back at it fondly, but now and then we'll do something over a weekend and I'm like, I never could have sustained that lifestyle. And like, a lot of the time I look at that and I'm like, God, we used to be so fun and we used to do so much and we used to be so social. But you change as a person and your like capacity for interaction and lack of sleep and just like moving around all the time does run out, and you have phases in your life where you can do that. Like, maybe in like a year's time we'll be like back up and running and we'll be like doing loads of things, but sometimes you need to do like one weekend and then sleep for the rest of them. And I think that's also fine. And I think that doesn't make you any more or less of a sociable person, that you've gone through like really heavy periods and you've gone through really dry periods. I think at the end of the day, like, as with everything, it fluctuates, which is kind of what we were saying at the start. But I think that doesn't change you as a person, that doesn't change your progress, because you could do this and you could be like, okay, I'm going to become a social butterfly. And you do the baby steps and then you get to a point where you can go out every weekend and you might do that for a month or 2 and then you're like, oh, I'm really tired. And you can take a month off and you can go back to kind of, living the little life, not socialising, and that doesn't undo your progress. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're a shy person again. It just means that you're not doing that. You're not physically going to the events, but you've not, like, changed.
Yeah, and you might just not want to at that time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not to say that, we don't go to things because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
We still do a lot of social things. We just do different social things.
Yeah.
Like, right now, our, like, ideal is probably going for, like, a pizza or something and a blank street. That's the ideal. A year ago, it was festivals. Next year, it might be, like, a different kind of thing. We got in our, like, theatre bag at some point. Like, maybe we'll start doing that. It's all social at the end of the day. Like, one social... Yeah, cinema. I miss that. But that's more winter.
Yeah.
I know there's something I want to go see. That Kristen Stewart one. We never went to see that.
No, is that even still out?
I don't know. But yeah, like, one social interaction isn't worth more than another one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you've gone out and done something, you're happy you've done it. It doesn't... going back to this, like, whole night out thing, or, like, you don't have to go full force into social interactions that you're tired physically and you've taken so much time out of your day or your week or your month to do it. When, if all you wanted was just like, I just want an afternoon every so often where I'm doing something with other people, you've done it. And if that's your threshold for a social butterfly, You got your wings.
Yeah.
That's it. You've done it.
At the end of the day, like, if you want to become a more sociable person, you're doing it for you. So make your social life work for you. Don't, like...
Work for your social life.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that was so, like, Drew Barrymore.
Sorry, the card got full. But there's no point becoming a social butterfly if you're not enjoying the life. You don't, like, there's actually no point. Like, I think it's important to grow beyond, like, I'm a shy person. Yeah, I think it's important to grow as a shy person to a social butterfly so that you're not turning things down. But I also don't think it's a case of, like, I need to be a social butterfly, so I'm going to do it regardless of, like, happiness. Like, try things out, push yourself, but at the end of the day, like, once you're getting tired or once you're liking things, just tailor your life to the things you like. Like, you could go to 5 different types of nights out. Doesn't mean you need to keep up all 5. You can pick the one. Lana Del Rey. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to go to, like, what is it, like, Reggae Nation. Do you know what I mean? No. If you don't like it, don't go to Lana Del Rey.
We're not clubbers
called?
Yeah. We're not clubbers anymore, but for the right event, we would delve out.
Yeah.
Even though we're ex-clubbers, and it's not to say that in 3 years' time we're not going to go through a span where we're actually just club rats again. Like, you actually just don't know.
I had a dream that we were clubbing last night.
Sometimes it's fun. It depends on the situation. And exactly, it just depends on the situation. It's not turning it down forever because it's not something you do right now. It's not you have to say yes to every single thing ever. It's just as and when.
Yeah.
Happiness is a butterfly. Lana Del Rey. It's literally nothing to do with that.
That can be on the song, the post to this.
Good. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think my final point was literally just, you could do all of this and decide no, and that's okay. You could get to a point where you're like, I'm out every night, but I love this. This is the life I've actually been, like, living, like, waiting, like, counting down the seconds to this. That's good. Only you'll know, and you can stop at any point.
Yeah, and I also think my final thing I want to say is that, like, you have to have resilience and you have to have strength. And I think even the most confident, outgoing, social people have to take breaks and have to take a lot of effort to look after themselves. So I think that's a nice, like, push yourself, be social, meet new people, but do it in a safe and, like, sustainable way. Like, don't...
Not to the point of burnout.
Yeah, or, like, unhealthiness, you know, like, skipping meals to go out and things like that.
Or, like, if you're at uni or you're at work, you're no longer, like, doing those things. You're no longer going to your classes, or you're actually just calling in sick because you're, you know, hungover or whatever. You're so tired from the night out because you just felt like you couldn't say no.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you're making these friends and they're good friends, even if you say no to things, you'll still be friends with them. You don't have to, you know, like, always be there. That's the FOMO, you know. That's my point. I don't know. They'll still be your friend. But yeah, that's about it, really.
Thanks for listening or watching,
Thank you so much. This was so nice. I enjoyed this one. Hope y'all are all little, like, butterflies now. If you're caterpillars, that's fine.
Fly away.
You can crawl at your own pace. Like, we're all doing well. All in our own lanes.
Yeah, life's not a race.
All in our own cocoons. Fact. Yeah. Get out, butterfly. That's what you are. You fly. Come fly with me.
Oh, it's got juicy.
This was real nice. Follow us. Well, it depends where you are. If you're watching or you're listening, you can subscribe to us, follow us, rate, comment, share it to a social butterfly. Don't share it to someone that should be. That's kind of mean. But share it.
You need this.
Saw this and thought of you. Just share it to someone that you want to go out with. You want to go for a coffee with. And say, this is my invitation. This is all the things I couldn't say.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, blunt_vibration. We have a website, which is really fun, and we'll have by the time you're listening to this or watching this, our big weekend review will be out. So go over and look at that, blondevibrations.co.uk. And we have TikTok, which Eliz works really hard on.
Get us to 900 followers, please, because we're so super close, and I didn't think I'd be saying that.
Yeah, that's just from vibrations.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
The battery's low, so we're gonna go. And that's all. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Love ya. Bye.